Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Princess. It's another episode of how I got to Australia. Now, if you haven't watched the part 1 of the video how I got my admission, please head on to the link and watch the video of how I got my admission, what I did, document I submitted, the whole process of how I got an admission to one of the schools in Australia, here in Sydney, Australia. Now, this is the part 2 of the video where I'm going to be talking about the visa process, how long it took, what are the documents I submitted, and what the possible outcome was. Guys, if you are trying to get visa to Australia, I recommend that you listen, pay attention to this video, because it would help you. You get it? Will help you. But first, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please guys head on to subscribe to my YouTube channel, put it on notification, share, like, and comment. And if you have more questions with regards to anything with regards to study routes to Australia, please do not hesitate to send a message across to me and I would sure reply you. Please guys, support your girl, subscribe, like, share, please. Okay, without wasting so much time, let's get straight into it on how I got my visa. Now, the visa part was the most taxing part, because it had like first stage and second stage. Now, I'll explain what I mean. Now, the first stage of the visa process was gathering the documents that was necessary for the visa application, right? Quote unquote documents. When I mean documents, to the very last one, I mean crossing the T's and dotting the I's. It was as specific as those. My agent sent me a list of documents that was required for me to obtain a visa, to apply for a visa. Now, those documents included my statement of account, my sponsor statement of account, my passport data page, my COE, which had been issued to me already by the school, right? My SOP means statement of purpose, why you intend to study the course, why you choose Australia, etc., etc. You have to elaborate, pour your heart out. Why are you going to study what you're studying? Of what impact, of what use is it to you, your future? How are you going to use your degree? All of those things is what you explain in your SOP. Why are you leaving your current country to come and study in Australia? All those things are important questions that should be answered on your SOP. Now, put another video up for SOP, how you should write your SOP and what your SOP should look like. I'll put that in a separate video, but that's not it. I'm just going to give you the rundown of all the documents that I use. If you want me to explain in detail word for word each of those documents, please also put the questions in and I would sure elaborate as much as I can. Another thing that was very required of me was my sponsor's details, aside her bank statements, such as her passport data page, her CAC documents, because my sister owns a business and she was my sponsor as well, because we did co-sponsoring, meaning me and her both sponsored myself to Australia, so we did co-sponsoring. So she had to present her business certificate as well and her tax clearance and all of those. Now, I had to provide a relationship status, right? So I went to the High Court in Lagos. I got that, which is to declare that we're related, how we related, and she vouches to pay the expected fees, and she's aware of the fees. So it's not like I'm doing it behind her back. All of those things, we both went together. We got that as well from the High Court. It was included among the document that was requested by my agent. And certificate of relationship, how we're related, are we sisters, cousins, nephews, nieces, stepsisters, husband and wife, literally anything that states your status, right? Your relationship status. They want to see that. Who is this person to you? Why did they choose to sponsor you? Do you understand? Those have to be clearly defined out. So now those were the things that were requested, and yeah, I think those were pretty much the documents. So if you want me, I'll go over the list again. My passport data page, my sponsor's passport data page, my bank statement of 6 months, my sponsor's bank statement of 6 months, my sponsor's CAC documents, my sponsor's tax clearance, my sponsor's marital certificate because my sister is married, all of this information. Then our relationship status, which we had to get from High Court as well. My transcript again as well. I had to submit my HND, Higher National Diploma certificate as well. I had to submit all of those documents. Now, when I submitted those documents, she evaluated it, looked at it. Whatever corrections that needed to be made, I adjusted it according to her requirement of what was necessary. Now, this is the tricky part of it. After getting to that stage where I submitted the documents, she had evaluated it. My SOP as well, I wrote my SOP. Now, the SOP that I gave the school, right, I just had to elaborate more when I submitted my visa. Right, when I was giving the document to my agent, I had to elaborate more on the SOP, why I intend to study in Sydney in particular, why the particular school I chose, why the course I chose, of what use is the course to me in the next maybe 2 years, 3 years. How do I impact my society with that course? What will be my next future goal after I've studied the course? All of those questions were answered. What is my passion? All of those things were answered in my SOP. Do I have the financial capabilities of, knowing fully well my fees were really high? Can I afford it? All of those questions, I answered them. Now, after having done all of that, my agent went ahead, filled in the visa application. I filled the visa application. She sent me a document. I filled all the visa application, and she went ahead to apply for the visa. Now, applying for the visa does not stop there. When you apply for an Australian visa, this is another part. This is a part 2 of applying for it. Now, for them to be able to proceed, for the immigration to proceed with your visa application, they need to do 2 things. You need to do 2 things, right, for them to attend to that application after you've submitted. Those 2 things are: 1, you have to obtain a biometric, which can be done through VFS, right? So VFS is either, for example, if you're in Lagos, VFS is in Ikeja and it's in Lekki as well, Ikate. So you can go to any of the VFS center to have your biometric done, right? And for you to have your biometric done, you need to go with a copy of that visa application that was sent to you. Now, when you apply for a visa, there's a form that is sent to you on your mail. That form, you take it as well. You go to the VFS website, right? And you pick a date in which you want to go for your biometric, a date, a time, and now you'll be given the amount that you pay when you get there. For VFS, it's pretty easy, very easy, and very easy, simple to get to biometric, have biometric done. You don't even see queue. And usually when it's Australia, you don't really see a lot of queue. You don't even see queue at all. Not that it's even a lot of queue. You don't even see queue at all. You just walk in, get a thumbprint, get your biometrics done, and all of that. Submit the document, make the payment. Please, when you're going for your biometric, do endeavor to go with your international passport. Any document that you know might be useful, please go with it, because you might not know what they will ask you for. In my own case, I went with my international passport. I went with my COE, and I went with my visa application form that was sent to my email after I had applied for it. I went with that document as well. And those were the items that I went with then, with the money that I had to pay for the biometric. Now, I did my biometric. Now, the rehearsal was getting my medicals done, because there are 2 things, like I mentioned, so there are 2 things you need to do after you've submitted your visa application. You need to have the biometrics done, and you need to have your medicals done. Now, what is it? I know you're going to ask, what is the essence of medicals? Why do I need medicals? Well, they need to ascertain your health status to be sure that you're fine, right? Or if there's something they should be aware of. So when you come, right, the school will probably be aware of your health status and treat you accordingly. For example, if you can't see really well, they would help you with ways in which you can have to attend class without having to strain your eyes, or all of those things. The reason why they need your health status, just to know and further help you when you get to the country, and give you all the necessary assistance necessary when you get to the country. Nigeria will happen to you when you want to do your medicals. When I mean Nigeria will happen to you, Nigeria will legit happen to you when you want to do your medicals. Guys, I went to do my medicals the day that I intended to go and do my medicals. Now, there are 2 places to have medicals done for Australia visa. Now, you have to go to IOM. IUM is in Ikeja. Now there's Fatai, right? Which is on the island, so there are two. Now Fatai is more expensive and IUM is less expensive. Now you're asking me what's the cost difference. Having your medicals done in IUM would cost you about 46k to 47k. Within that range, it's not more than that. It's about 46,500 as at the time that I did mine. I do not know of the current rates, but if I find out the current rate, I'll also drop the price on the link so that you can access it. Now for Fatai, it was about almost 80k to have it done. But now Fatai does not have queue, rather, that's the word. Fatai does not currently have queue, so you can walk in, book an appointment with Fatai, go there, have your medicals done, and move. Now if you are saving money, you want to be cost effective, you have to go with IUM. Now the real struggle for IUM is not here. It's not for the faint-hearted. So if you know that you cannot withstand pressure, you cannot stay in the queue that is as long as if you are going to Jerusalem, please use Fatai. Because when I mean the stress of obtaining that medical was up to this place. The stress level was like 100.1%. It was that real. Now I got to IUM as early as 6 a.m. I can bet you that I met over 500 people outside. That was how massive the queue was. Now when I got there, I had to wait till about 2 p.m. for me to get in. When I got in, I couldn't do my medicals because there was no slot available. I activated the Niger gang me. I started begging them. I said, please, Ejoma, please and please and please, I have to do my medicals. My school was already resuming in July, and as at June, middle of June, we just applied for my visa. So you can see the time was pretty short. So I literally had 1 month to leave Nigeria and meet up with my school. My school was resuming on the 25th. I had to leave Nigeria before that 25th so that I could meet up with classes and also settle down when I come in. Like, get an apartment, know where my faculty is, know where my school is, how to obtain, how to get public transport to my school. All of those things I needed to be aware. And in order for me to do that, I need to arrive in the country at least a week or 4 days prior so that enable me settle down, know what I need to do. Now on getting to that part, I begged them. After having to beg them, walked up and down, I was sweating profusely. The Shah gave me dates to come back the following week, which was the week after. Now I'd applied for my visa like on the 14th. My medical was supposed to be done that same week so that immigration can continue with the process. I had to go back to do my medicals. They gave me 1 week after. I said, okay, not a problem. At least half bread is better than worthless. Because if I had to go by judging from the date they had available on the website, the next available time would have been August 22nd. And I'm like, August 22nd, that's like 3 weeks off already, my school. Off lectures already. How am I supposed to be in Nigeria on the 22nd of August when my school had already resumed? All of those things what I put together. That's why I had to go on my knees. I begged them. I begged them. And as God will have it, they gave me time. I came next week of June, which was like almost the ending of June, about 25th thereabouts. I went to them. I did my medicals. I got there at 6 a.m. again. I finished my medicals, I think about 12 p.m. The queue was really long, guys. If you are going for that medicals, please take water, take money, if possible carry food along, because the stress alone, my dear, it's not even funny. Now if you're asking me the kind of test that they did for me, now they did x-ray, I did urine, I don't remember them taking my blood. No, they didn't do any blood. Was there any blood? No, there was no blood test. It was my urine. I did an eye test. I did a consultation with a doctor. I did the x-ray. Those were the 4 things that I did that cost me 46,500. I paid for it and I left. Now after I, sent in, did my medicals, it took them about 3 or 4 days for them to conclude the results and put it on the portal, for the immigration portal, for them to see. Now your visa number as well, those visa application number, you give it to them as well. Those are the things that they key into the system to put it on the Australian immigration site to enable them know that they've conducted a test already on you, and give them the feedback. Now you can decide to get your result from IOM if you want to. You can request for it, but I didn't request for it because I know I was fine. I did a consultation, I knew I was fine, because prior to that time I had done tests already too, so I knew I was okay. But if you want to request for your test results to know if there's anything, you can totally do all of that there. Do you understand? All of those things is what you can do there as well. So lo and behold, I did all of these things. I gave it to I told my my agent that I'd done my medicals, I'd done everything, I'd done my biometric, and she was like, okay, great. So she did all the necessary things that she needed to do on the portal. And now that is where the prayer warrior in me started. You know, in Nigeria, if you want to apply for visa, that's where you remember that you know Jesus, Almighty God in heaven. That's when you know that He's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Your faith will already be heightened, guys. I was so full of faith. I was so full of life, because I knew deep down inside of me that God had put me for a time such as this. God had put me for me to obtain that visa. So I kept praying day and night for it. I did not relent. Now, after I did that, a lot of people had gotten visa on my group. My school was getting closer. The date of resumption was getting closer, and I was still in Nigeria. My school was supposed to resume on the 25th. As on the 25th of July, your girl still in Nigeria. I never even see visa. No, yeah, 24th. My school was meant to resume on 25th. As at 24th of July, I was still in Nigeria. I'd not gotten my visa, but I did not lose hope. I did not lose faith. This is what I did that helped me. I bought all the things that I needed to buy, such as food stuff. I bought every single thing. I bought it in Nigeria. I packed my food, my clothes, my everything that I needed to buy. Now, when I was coming, it was spring, meaning that it was still very cold in Australia. So I had to buy all the winter jacket that I needed to, because my sister, I don't want to go and freeze. Me and cold, we don't really vibe like that. You get? We don't really vibe like that. Anyways, this is what happened. I bought all of those things in Lagos Island. I'll put a link on how I got those things in my another video. How I got those things, how I bargained for it, where you can get it, all of those cheap winter jackets and all of those stuff in my next video. So that's not about that, but let's focus on the visa part. Now, I kept praying about it. I was just so relentless on what I needed to achieve, which is coming here. So what I did next was, on the 25th, I was going to the bank. I wanted to get my domiciliary ATM card. On the 25th that my school had resumed, though, I was still in Nigeria. No, it's 25th of December. 25th of July, rather. 25th of July, I was still in Nigeria. I'd not gotten my visa. That afternoon, about 2 p.m.-ish, I was going to the bank to get my domiciliary card, because I'd opened a domiciliary account prior to now, so I wanted to get my domiciliary card. My agent calls me. Hi, princess. Congratulations, you've gotten your visa. I'm like, I was so excited. The joy, I could not contain my joy. I was screaming at the bank. The lady looked at me. The ATM lady was like, why did this girl screaming? Because what this lady said, oh my dear, you don't know why I was screaming. I was just crying. That's why I had to scream. Who would not want to jackpot in Nigeria and not scream when you get your visa? I was so excited. The next thing I did was I picked up the phone. I called my mom. I told my mom, oh, I'd gotten visa. I told my sister. I told my pastor. I was super excited about it. And school had already resumed. That 25th, I was still in Nigeria. Got my visa. I booked my flight the next week. And the second week, which was like on the beginning of August, which was on the 8th, I arrived in Sydney, Australia. It was a 2-day flight, guys. 2-day flight with 15 hours layover. I'll share with you on the next video on how stressful it is flying from Nigeria to Australia and how much it will probably cost you. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel today. Thank you for tuning in. I'm super excited that you're here. Please like, share, comment. Follow me on my various social media platforms. I'm going to put the link there as well as the handle, so you can follow me on TikTok, you can follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Snapchat. Now if you have questions with regards to this, please do not fail to contact me. I'll put my email as well, so you can contact me whenever you need to. Send me an email, send me a DM, anything you'd like me to answer on this journey. Please let me know. But today's episode was great. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode of Princess Moving to Australia. Bye guys.